I've been running round in circles, chasing my tail and lost my way, seeking shelter in different corners, never finding a place to stay. Somehow ended up here on the ground. Brother, help me up, I've fallen down. I know that I'll hurt the ones that I hold dear, the ones I love. Thought that I would find the answers, drinking till my feet felt numb, just like Father did when I was young. I don't know how I could be so dumb. I've been lost far too long. I can't see, I'm trapped in darkness. Life has turned its back on me, it seems. Brother, help me up, I've fallen down. Have you ever felt like someone who's meant to be somewhere else, caught inside a state of mind where nothing's really making sense? That's why I've been left here on the ground. Sister, help me up, I've fallen down. I've been lost far too long. I can't see, I'm trapped in darkness. Life has turned its back on me, it would seem. Brother, help me up, I've fallen down. Brother, help me up, I've fallen down.
Like cold November rain, like a man without a name, like a song without a refrain. That's how I feel without you. Like a door without a key, like a whale without the sea, like a hive without the bees. That's how I feel without you. But oh, how I miss being with you. And oh, how I wish it wasn't true. And oh, how I wish you missed me too. But I know there's nothing I can do, nothing I can do. Like cold November rain, like a man without a name, like a song without a refrain. I don't know how else to explain.
close your eyes, get out of your skin. Only this matters, let it in. If I could, I would be right here with you. In this world
Hey everyone, it should be live. You guys hearing me okay?
So close your eyes.
Do you guys hear me?
Feel the same. Only thing that matters when I change, I will let you into my mind's the color that falling tears that have been long asleep.
Okay, yeah, honey, they're saying turn down the music.
Lights are out and heaven's
Hello.
open. We can be
Alright, he's gonna go ahead and turn down the music. Yeah, he thought it'd be a good idea to add music. We're still working on all this, so it'll take some time for us to get used to what we want and don't want. Hello. Hello. Did you turn down the music? Oh, you're sick? I'm sick too. That's why I sound all messed up. Plus, I've got a cough drop in my mouth. Yeah, it's... Unfortunately, in Texas, the weather goes from below freezing to hot in a millisecond, and it's caused a lot of people to get sick. Yeah. Yeah, my college sounds like a doctor's office right now. Everyone's coughing and sick. It's horrible. Yeah, you live in Texas too. Yeah. You know what they say about Texas weather? If you don't like it, just stand around for a bit. And it'll change. Because that's what it does. So... we're going to be ending the stream at around 6:30 because I've got company coming over, but otherwise this will be about the time frame we'll be doing these streams because, like I said, I feel like at this point most people are going to be off school. It's just going to be more likely that people are off school, people are, you know, getting in for the evening, so I feel like this time frame is going to be ideal for it. And as I said, I've had 7 back surgeries, so I can only handle so much at a time, so an hour to an hour and a half is about really all I can handle. But let's see who we got here today. I have a throat thingy. Still have... oh, Fruit Loops. I like Fruit Loops. Yeah, they say not to eat dairy or sugar when you're sick. Something about it elevates blood pressure or something. But let's see who we got with us today. We got Miss Spotted Leaf. Now, Spotted Leaf is one of my older figurines, but still proud of the way she came out. I am going to fix her eyes though, because her eyes are the old-fashioned. Good. That's good. Yeah, it is normally common with stomach sickness. But yeah, so here she is. They changed her outlook on the Warriors Wiki a little bit. Now she's more brown than she was. But yeah, so you have Crooked Star, the new one. You got Needletail. You got Goose Feather. And this one is Briarlight. Yeah, Silent Thought. I haven't read it yet, but I know it's going to be awesome. Just reading about it on Wiki. So Briarlight, I had to redo her a little bit because while I was able to make it so that she could stand without her hind legs and with them being down, what I ultimately decided to do was make her a little leaf base which unfortunately it's probably not going to show up very well on this camera, but it's a little base with very thin leaves, and yeah, me too. It's a very thin base with a little bit of leaves on it. What it does is it just helps her be a little bit more stable, and all I did for this was air dry clay and filed them down until they were thin enough to look like leaves, because I figure with her, she probably drags around a lot on the ground and probably picks up leaves and stuff as she's dragging herself. But yeah, what I had to do with this model is, with the scalpel tool, I took off her legs, took off her tail, had her body bent down like that, and then what I did was I super glued the legs back on. I also took off the feet, because remember, if she, you gotta take off the feet and put the feet facing up so that it looks like she's dragging her feet. And the same with the tail. A lot of people think that her tail moves up, but it can't because she's paralyzed. I don't think her tail is supposed to work. Yeah, a lot of people think it's cats like Broken Star, Tiger Star, Hawk Frost, and it's easy to forget that they lost their spirits in the battle with the Dark Forest, so that's totally understandable. But yeah, the only cats left are going to be Darkstripe, Thistleclaw, and Mapleshade, as well as a couple others that didn't die. Like, I think Snowtuft didn't die, but he's kind of irrelevant as far as what's going on here goes. Mapleshade does have a bone to pick with ThunderClan, but I just don't see her preventing kits from eating first. I don't think she would go that far. I don't know. I don't know with her. But it definitely sounds like something Darkstripe would do. That's why I just thought it sounds like it's Darkstripe, but yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Mapleshade's been around a really long time. I'm kind of surprised she hasn't yet. Okay, so the thing about hot glue, there's nothing wrong with hot glue. My only thing about hot glue was that it was kind of messy to work with, so I didn't really like working with it. My mother also does crafts, and she used hot glue all the time growing up, and it was so messy. And I tried doing it when I was a kid and actually got second-degree burns from it. So I just thought, okay, I need to use something else. And I decided super glue was better, because as long as you're careful with it and you don't use too much of it, it comes out pretty good. But again, with super glue, just like with hot glue, you have to be really careful. But yeah, if you like using hot glue, that's perfectly fine. Oh, Mapleshade's vintage was amazing. Hold on, there's this little thing that keeps coming up on the screen covering up you guys' comments. Yeah, sometimes I use normal Elmer's glue too. So, I think I saw that. Looks pretty good. I think I saw it. Looks pretty good. Yeah, I use Elmer's all-purpose glue. Don't ever use Elmer's school glue. That stuff never dries. But yeah, the Elmer's all-purpose glue works really well. Do not like Elmer's school glue. It is so... Not only is it messy, but it just never dries. I think tacky glue is good too. Yeah, I think I've used tacky glue before. It's the, hold on guys. Yeah, Colt, it's the little, those little box things that come up sometimes with the laptop in the corner? Yes, that's what's coming up. Oh man, you use school glue? Well, you're gonna have some talent, because I can't. I cannot work with school glue. It never dries fast enough for me. I don't like it. It never works for me. But if you can get it to work for you, that's some talent. I cannot do it. I'm too impatient for that. Funny enough, the super glue that I use is just called super glue. Like, the camera might not zoom into it, but there's no real brand name or anything. It's just called super glue. And that's pretty much all it is. You can buy it on Amazon, Hobby Lobby, and that's really it. The only other things I see are Gorilla Glue, and I haven't used Gorilla Glue yet. I'm serious. Oh, I don't blame you. Making customs takes time. I think, spoiler alert, I think Millie is dead. Because something about, now, Moon Kitty made a video talking about it. Is it true that's what keeps coming up? Is it true that a dog came into the clan and she tried to talk to it? Because that might have just been Moon Kitty. I know it says she died, but I'm not entirely sure how. Yeah, I know she's dead, I just don't know how. I mean, not to sound cruel or anything, but if she tried to talk to a dog and it ended up killing her, that... Oh my gosh. It just sounds... I know it sounds horribly cruel of me to say, but just, that would be so interesting if she tried to talk to it and it ate her anyway. That'd be horrible. Oh my goodness, that'd be so bad. I know, it is depressing. Poor Millie. Like, can you imagine she's trying to help the clans and she goes to talk to the dog and it eats her? That'd be horrible. Gosh. Well, because the dogs that were chasing them in the manga back when she was with Gray Stripe, those two dogs were pretty big. Oh, hey. Those two dogs were pretty big, but they were shocked to basically hear her talk to them, and it also didn't sound like they were violent. It sounds like they were just enjoying chasing them around. And as soon as she said, you know, oh, no, go away, I think it shocked them enough to where they just left. So it would be interesting if that's not what happened this time. And you know, that's I was gonna say, is it the same dogs that hurt Brightheart, but it couldn't be, because they'd be too old by now and they left that territory, I think. That's what they say. They say he's gonna choose Silverstream over Millie, but who really knows? You know, some of those facts, we don't know where they come from. You think it comes from the authors, but not really. There's a whole list of people that do the Warriors Wiki, and they're constantly changing stuff. So you never know what's really gonna happen and what's not. I mean, I had heard another rumor that Silverstream picked another Tom in StarClan, but I'm sure that was a rumor. So you just never know. I'm sure they will find a way to all get along. What's going to be really interesting is when Crowfeather, or Crowstar, whatever happens to him, goes to StarClan and meets Feathertail, Leafpool, Nightcloud. He did technically raise his kits with Millie, and you know, that came up with Berry Nose as well. With Berry Nose, they said, who's he gonna pick in StarClan, you know, Honeyfur or Poppy Frost, and one of the Errands said, well, it's gonna be Poppy Frost because he raised kits with her and had a family with her. I don't know how that works. I'm sure once they die, they all somehow manage to get along. Somehow, some way. I think he and Feathertail, I think Crow, Feather, and Feathertail buried the hatchet, and I think him and Nightcloud broke up, and him and Nightcloud broke up in Crowfeather's trial, I think. How come most maps make it think? Oh. Well, I don't know about you guys. I don't consider Spotted Leaf's heart canon. He did love Leafpool. I mean, I don't know. Leafpool's already there. That's the sad part. You know, did they... I haven't read Squirrelfly's Hope yet. I'm guessing they didn't... Did they not get Crowfeather's reaction when Leafpool died, or has he not heard yet? because they don't really focus on Wing Clan very much, or any of the clans other than Thunder Clan at this point. Maybe Sky Clan and maybe Shadow Clan, but that's because they're an essential part of the Broken Code. I think it's hilarious that Root Paw can see Bramblestar's ghost. That is just hilarious. I'm glad he can see ghosts like his father. That's awesome. Aw, I want to see his reaction. Out of morbid curiosity, I want to see what Crowfeather's reaction is going to be. Because I know Jayfeather took it really hard. I figured, you know, they had to kill her off at some point because, goodness, they had 3 medicine cats in ThunderClan, and I was like, well, one of them's going to have to go at some point, and I knew they weren't going to kill off Jayfeather, and I figured they weren't going to kill off Elderheart, so... Yeah, I heard Crowfeather's trial was actually really good. I think that's the one where he gets made deputy by Hairstar. I wasn't too crazy about Hairstar being leader. I mean, it's not that I don't like the cat, I just thought, we don't really know a whole lot about this cat. I mean, that's okay. Okay, yeah, it was. I know. She was determined not to die. It was very touching. I mean, she really wanted to be with her mate. She wanted to prove herself. It was... I had read about that on Wiki. That was really touching. Did she want more kits in that book? There was a book where she wanted more kits. One Star can be a jerk, but to be fair, he did not know he was going to be leader. He was very, scared when Tall Star made him leader. That was the book, yeah. I kind of want her and Bramblestar to have more kits. I know we have enough characters as it is, and, you know, we got to do a whole Thanos thing where we off, like, half of them before, you know. But I would have liked to have seen them have more kits. I don't know. And, you know, Dandelion Kit and Juniper Kit, I know they're mentioned, but they still don't have any descriptions on the wiki as far as I know, which is upsetting. I want to know what they look like. Do they look like her? Do they look like Bramblestar? I would like to know. Because Juniper is typically a dark color, so I would think Juniper Kit would maybe be a tabby. And Dandelion Kit would have to be a light color. Make them have kids and then kill him as apprentice. Well, he's probably, I mean, Bramblestar and Squirrelflight, they're pretty old at this point. I mean, yeah, being leader is stressful. I can understand why he's snippy with her. I mean, I think anytime a cat takes on the role of leader, their personality changes, and that happens with anybody. You guys, you know, might learn this in high school or in college, whichever happens, but when you give someone a role of authority, they change. They change. You can take an irresponsible person and make them a leader and they'll become responsible, or you can take the nicest person in the world who's never done any wrong, make them a leader or give them some authority, and they suddenly become a huge butt. I mean, it just depends. So with a lot of these cats, you know, oftentimes they're either not ready to be leader, or when they become leader, it's not what they thought. So I think it'll be interesting if they make Squirrel Star a thing. I don't know if they will, though, because like I said, she's kind of on the older side. I don't know. What do you mean? Yeah. Yeah. You know, when I went to high school, we didn't have any real popular cliques, although it was a massive school. There were like 4,000 students, so I don't know. Maybe I just didn't notice. You know, Moon Kitty brought that up. She was saying that, how come in Warriors there's not any cliques? Because she said you would think in these clans they would develop like cliques and maybe have a little bit more drama here and there. And I thought, well, yeah, but if you grow up in this community, that's what's going to happen. Yeah, I wanted Tawny Star too. I really did. But again, I thought, well, she is older, so I don't know. But hey, do you realize all of Tiger Star all of Tiger Star's kits held positions of power at one point, except for Tadpole, who unfortunately died. So yeah, you had Hawkfrost, who was deputy for a short while. You have Bramblestar, who became leader. You have Tawny Pelt, who was a deputy. And you have Mothwing, who was a medicine cat. So they all held positions of some kind of power. So obviously Tiger Star, even though he was messed up, they had really good genes apparently. Yeah. Yeah. I get that. Yeah, that happens a lot. I mean, yeah, that unfortunately happens a lot. It's called a pack mentality. You can have someone who's the voice of reason, but if you've got majority of the rest of the people saying, no, that's not possible, then that's unfortunately what happens. Tadpole did save his siblings, so yeah, that's very admirable. I wonder if Tadpole would have been a leader, because Tadpole, I believe, I could be wrong about this, I think Tadpole was the firstborn, and he very much acted like a leader. So part of me thinks maybe Tadpole would have been Tadpole Star, or whatever his name might have been. That was cute. I read about that. That was really cute. But you know, it's interesting. She had kits there and everything, but she still wanted to leave. I mean, that's amazing. Yeah, Tadpole Star. I wonder what his warrior name would have been. Like, if he'd have kept the name Tadpole, what do you do? Do you say, oh, hello. Do you say Tadpole Tail? Tadpole Pelt? Hello. That would have been an interesting warrior name. Tadpole Tail or Tadpole Pelt or something. She did leave for a huge reason. She did have a reason for leaving, and yeah, I'm kind of glad she did. Yeah, I understand. Hello. No, I'm glad she left too, but hello. Yeah, pull something. Oh, yes. You know, what was the deal with Sasha? Sasha left the boat she was staying at. Because Sasha, you know, when she left Tiger Star, she went to live with this old man on a boat. And she was pregnant, but then she left. She left before she gave birth to her kids. Something about she wanted her kids to be born in the wild, but my thing is, why? I don't know. I think she wanted them to be warriors, but maybe she just didn't want to admit that to herself until she finally brought them to River Clan. I don't know. I always thought that was a bit interesting. North Pole. It's Santa Claus's cat. Santa Claus's warrior cat. You know who I didn't want to die? I didn't want Snow Kit to die. The little death kit that belonged to Speckletail. Why did he have to die? I don't understand that. Favorite custom I've made so far. That one is tough. That one is really tough. Man, that's tough. Because the ones that used to be my favorite, I've made better since then. So, I mean, I think Goose Feather came out better when I redid him. But I think Needletail by far took the most work. Just because I was starting to explore with breaking off their limbs and expanding them and expanding their tail and fixing their ears. So, but you know, I think by far my favorite custom so far, even though I'm redoing her, it was Briarlight, just because I really, really wanted Briarlight to look good, because she was one of my favorite disabled warrior characters, and I was very careful with how I made her. And again, unfortunately, she's not going to show up that well on this camera, but I'll do a video of her when she's done. I think when it comes to technical reasons, I think she's my proudest achievement, just because I was able to break off her limbs, her paws, her tail, and put them back on flawlessly. And I did not know if that was going to work. And like I said, she could originally stand on her own, but just to kind of make things easier, I went ahead and made her a little leaf base to help her be more stable. So I think she's one of my proudest achievements. Definitely. Yes, she is Miss USA. You know, the snow kit is snow tough thing. It's a fun theory. I don't see how it's really possible. I mean, like I said, it's a really fun theory to think about, but I don't think it's possible, only because if you look at Snow Tough's Warriors Wiki, I believe it said he was from Shadow Clan. Some people think it's official, but I said it was a theory. It's supposed to be a theory. It's not supposed to be official. Then again, who knows? There's so many of them, I couldn't even begin to know. I just wish he would have lived. I wanted to see what it was like to be a deaf. I wanted to see how they were gonna treat him as a deaf warrior. I mean, I know Shadow Clan has tail. What is it? Tail signals and stuff. I kind of thought they would use that with him, and I thought that would have been really neat. Yeah, I don't know anything. I'm an adult and I still don't know anything. If I ever say anything's official, I'm either not using the right words or didn't mean to say it. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen how they dealt with Snowkit, because I know Brackenfur wanted to be his mentor, so, and he was the perfect cat for Brackenfur because Brackenfur has more patience. That's kind of why they gave Hollyleaf to him. It's in Star Clan. That's the theory. Again, that's the theory. I have no idea if it's official. I'm gonna assume it's a theory. If it's official, cool. If not, it's a fun theory. I like AUs. I like theories. Oh. Yeah. You know, like I said, you never know what's official, what's a theory. You never know. I get stuff mixed up too. Okay, honey, we see you. Cloud. You know, Snowkit, I've accidentally called him White Kit before. I always get him mixed up with White Kit for some reason. I have no idea why I do that. I don't know. I always get him mixed up with, like, White Kit. Thank you. And you know what? Like I said, it just would have been fun to see a deaf warrior, because I don't know if he would have been made a warrior. He might have ended up becoming a medicine cat. I'm not really sure. But it's interesting to think about. And you know, that's another thing, Dappletail. So Dappletail tells them that she had 2 kids and that one of them was deaf because he was born with white fur and the blue eyes, and yeah, and that they don't really know what happened because it wandered off or something. That was so interesting. Oh, that's why I'm saying it would have been interesting. It would have been interesting to see if he could have been a warrior, because while he can't hear, he can feel vibrations. and he can see. So I'm wondering if they somehow would have implemented that into making him a good warrior. But like I said, he may have ended up being a medicine cat in the end, but man, that would have been cool. Just to see something different. Yeah, there's a lot of different cats with the name Mud in them. I think, you know, yeah, he could have been a great medicine cat, or again, would have been fun to see a deaf warrior. I know he can't hear, but like I said, he can see and feel vibrations, so that would have been cool. Hello. But the latest and greatest one I'm working on, this one's going to be Tuftier. Or no, Thriftier. Apologize, see? I already messed up the name. Thriftier. So Thriftier is Ivy Pole and Fern Song's kit. She's a she kit. I'm kind of surprised that Ivy Pole didn't name her after Holly Leaf, but at the same time, Lion Blaze and Cinderheart already named their daughter after Holly Leaf, so I guess that would have been redundant. But as you can see, again, not going to show up on this camera, but as you can see, her ears are tufted. That figure, and I tried to make them look like the thrift, the plant. They're going to look great when they're done. But I figured since her sister Bristlefrost was, you know, a caterpillar LPS model, I might as well make her out of a different model as well, too. I don't know how I'm going to make Flip Claw yet. Flip Claw. That is a hard name to say. Flip Claw. That is a very hard name to say. Oh, thank you. I love her, too. I love my Needletail custom, too. Stormleaf is a nice name. I like that. That's true. They could still smell. If they weren't related, I would ship them. Well, her and Fern Song are related. I see you, LPS Saint. I see you. Oh, yeah. It's coming out on the 12th. There's a lot of things coming out. Hello. Yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff coming out in the fall. I can't wait for that stuff. Why did she name her kit Flip? Anyone else ever? Why Flip? And why is he brown? Like, there's nothing wrong with a brown tabby, but Ivy Pole and Fern Song, Ivy Pole is a gray and white cat, or she's got some black stripes. And then with Fern Song is a yellow tabby. So why is Flip Call brown? Because according to one of the errands, she pictured Flip Call as a gray tabby, which would have made more sense. So, kind of weird. Oh, I thought Jade Feather and Briarlight were they were a very cute ship. I think Can't Help Falling in Love was a map, and it was beautifully done. Favorite custom I've made? Someone asked me that earlier, and like I said, I think Briarlight. Even though I'm redoing her, I feel like I was really proud of how she turned out, because I did not think she was going to turn out as good as she did, and I'm really happy with her, and I can't wait to show her off when she's done. Yeah, almost every cat is related. Yeah. You know, I want a Reed Whisker edition too. How come they're not cheating? See, I was reading your comment when I said that. That's why I said cheating, but how come they're not doing a Reed Whisker Super Edition? That's really weird. I mean, it's kind of weird. They're supposed to do an edition. Well, yeah, they're all. I mean, unfortunately, just about every cat in the clan is related somehow or another. It's crazy. I think, well, it used to be Spotted Leaf was Sandstorm's aunt, but now apparently it's different, and we don't know who Sandstorm's parents are. It used to be Redtail and Brindleface, and now apparently they went on the Warriors wiki and changed it, so now it looks like Redtail never had kids, but at the same time on Redtail's it says he was still mates with Brindleface, so it's all very confusing right now. Oh really, they're making an Outer Heart Super Edition? That'll be neat. Do I have any cats? I do not. I have 2 dogs. I really want a cat, but our apartment's really small, and, you know, cats, they need their own space, and right now it's just not a suitable environment for a cat, but someday, when we get a bigger place, absolutely, I plan to get a cat. Maybe a Maine Coon or a Corgus Rex, or like I said, I've always wanted a Siamese cat, so we'll just have to see when that day comes. Really, Outer Heart's Mistake. Oh, that'll be interesting. Bengal cats are nice, yeah. I do have some of the Warrior Cat books. A lot of them are actually on my Kindle. I know I'm old, I have a Kindle. A lot of them are actually on my Kindle, but I do have some of the paper books as well. Especially if I enjoyed the art on them. Or if I couldn't get my hands on them fast enough, or if I happen to be by a bookstore, then yes, I will absolutely go in and buy one. Yes. Really? A new manga. I like their mangas, they're amazing. Hello. I loved her cover too, and it was so funny. When I first saw her cover, I think it shows her tail in the background. I didn't know that was her tail. I thought I had no idea it was her tail. I was like, oh, that's her tail. Oh, I can't wait for a Feathertail manga. See, we don't know enough about Feathertail, so that would actually be really neat. And what about Stormfur? Her brother, he went to go live with Brooke, and supposedly they had another litter, and they have 4 kids all together now, and we still haven't heard from them, and it makes me sad. I would like to hear from them. I would like to know how they're doing. I would like to know what their kits are doing. I know it's got them on the wiki, but I really want to see what they're doing now. Yeah, Moon Kitty's awesome. I actually support Moon Kitty on Patreon. She makes me laugh, and I'm a broke college student, so I could only donate money to one artist that I really liked, and I went with Moon Kitty. Oh yeah, that would have been interesting. I wonder if they would have lasted as a couple, though, because, I don't, as fun as it would have been to see Feathertail have kids with Crowfeather, because it would have been a repeat of her own mother, I wonder if they would have lasted. Part of me would have liked to have seen where that went, because I know the Errands talk about how there was kind of an age difference, and Feathertail might have just moved on, and maybe Crowfeather wouldn't have taken it very well, so that would have been interesting. Oh yeah, I've got 2 dogs. One's a toy poodle, the other one's a mutt. The mutt I actually rescued. 2 kids. I like Light Kit. You know, when I heard Dovewing's kit's name, Light Kit, Pounce Kit, and Shadow Kit, I liked those names. I thought they were neat. Oh, you have a Labradoodle. Those are some cute dogs. Crowfeather and Feathertail are kind of a cute ship. I like it too. You know, there's not really a ship that I don't like. The only ship that, I think it's fine, I just don't understand it. It's a fan ship. Scourge x Ashfur. What's the deal with that? I mean, it's not that I hate it. I just don't get it. I just want to know who came up with that idea. Who came up with the concept of Scourge x Ashfur? What was the deal with that? Because Ashfur at the time would have been Ashpaw, but I've always wondered what the deal with that ship was. I did rescue my dog. She was actually brought to the shelter with 8 puppies, and they got her fixed, and the puppies were adopted out almost immediately, and you know, there she was by herself. I walked into Petco, it was adoption day, and she grabbed onto my leg, and she wouldn't let go, because the guy was walking her, and was about to put her back in her cage, and she grabbed my leg, and just would not let go, and she was super strong, and I remember being, like, really impressed by that. And when I heard her story, I just knew. I was like, nope, that's my dog. I was like, it's my dog, I have to take her. And now her name is Josephine. It's Josephine. I just call her JoJo for short. And then Embrace, he's my little toy poodle. He's over 10 years old now. I got him from a breeder after my toy poodle of 20 years passed away. And I named him Embrace because I was embracing a new family member. Yep. What? Oh my, that's old. You saw, okay, so you saw your kitten under your neighbor's car? I need to know more about that story. Sunstar and Thistleclaw is nice too. I've actually also heard Pine Star and Thistleclaw. Thistleclaw has a lot of ships, and Moonlight Nebula actually did an AMV, or PMV rather. She took it down, but it was Thistleclaw and Love's Oakheart, and it was really good. Oh, I'm sorry. They both wear eyeliner. Yeah, and they both have dyed red hair. Oh my. It is possible. I don't think I told you guys, but when I was young, I had a cat, and he was an orange cat, and I named him Timothy. Now, we didn't have him since he was a kitten. We took him from a friend because she was moving and she couldn't bring him, so she went ahead and gave him to us. Now, we let Timothy outside so he could explore because he was more of an outdoor cat, and my neighbors took him from me. and they renamed him Tiger and all this other stuff, and I mean, at first I was like, well, I kind of want him back, but then, you know, they were nice neighbors, and they talked about how, you know, they were taking everyone out to this country, and they were showing us how nice it was, and I was like, well, they'll probably be happier out there than with me, because we were moving into an apartment. So, yeah, neighbors steal a lot of cats, unfortunately. See, now, I could see that happening. Yeah, I could see that happening. Thistleclaw was a very skilled warrior. Like I said, I don't consider Spotted Leaf's Heart canon, but, you know, I guess since, I think it was Victoria Holmes, I guess since she wrote it, it's technically canon. I don't know. I mean, you know, they could have just said Thistleclaw wanted to be in the Dark Forest, and it would have made perfect sense. You didn't have to make him a creeper. I mean, I don't get it. I kind of want to see Squirrelflight become leader, yeah. I would like to see that. I think it would be very nice. I don't know if she will, but it would be nice to see, because I kind of would like to see Ivypool become leader too, so I don't know. Should be interesting to see. I definitely don't think it's going to be Berrynose, because, spoiler alert, when Bramblestar's imposter banishes Squirrelflight, he makes Berrynose the new deputy, and it's like, I don't see that going anywhere, but okay. Darkstripe and Tiger Star is cute. Yeah, it should be. You know, I gotta say, the Broken Codes are really good. So far, sounds like a really excellent series. I mean, like Moon Kitty said, seems like there's actual stakes this time. And it's kind of scary. Rose Petal would be nice as deputy, and dang it, I want to see Rose Petal get a mate. I know it sounds dumb, but sometimes I just want to see these cats have babies. I wanted Rose Petal to get together with somebody, and apparently she tried to get with Bumblestripe, and Bumblestripe rejected her, which made me not like him even more. So I was like, really? I mean, really? Oh, man. I wanted her to have babies. Because really, think about it, guys. So Daisy and Spiderleg got together and had Toadstep and Rose Petal. Toadstep's dead. Rose Petal's the only one left, and I kind of want to see her have babies, and it makes me sad. It makes me sad that Bumblestripe rejected her. Asexual Rose Petal. Oh. Tiger Star is kind of evil. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I do wonder about Tiger Heartstar sometimes. I think, all in all, he's a decent character. Sometimes he does stuff, though, where I'm just like, But I think I don't know if he's necessarily evil, per se. I think he's just a typical Shadow Clan cat. Shadow Clan kites were always picking fights with somebody. You know, the cat that was really interesting to me as leader, Blackstar. Blackstar was a very interesting leader because the interesting thing about him is he followed Broken Star, then he followed Tiger Star, then he followed Soul. This cat, just like, he's a leader, yet he follows other cats, seems like on a whim. Like, okay, this cat wants me to, kill so-and-so, okay, I will. This cat wants me to do this, okay, I will. Like, it's just, he was such an interesting leader, because he was flawed, and I love it. Rowan Star did upset me a bit, because, I mean, I understand, yeah, this is what I mean, being leader can be stressful on some of these cats, and I think for him, it just got beyond stressful. So, according to the Warriors Wiki, when it comes to Hollyleaf and Fallen Leaves, supposedly they're mates in StarClan, that's what it says, but again, we don't really know who writes these things in Warriors Wiki, so there's no real telling. I think one or two of the authors said they could be mates in StarClan, the other author said, oh, that's not what it's like, but should be pretty interesting. What do I watch on YouTube? Practically everything these days. Vines, memes, if I feel like laughing, Criminally Listed. So Criminally Listed, I really love that show. It almost reminds me of Unsolved Mysteries. I don't know if you guys know what Unsolved Mysteries is, but back in the day, it was kind of like America's Most Wanted, but with a real creepy vibe, and it added like mysteries in there, like were they abducted by aliens or was it a government conspiracy? So I really enjoy stuff like that. What color Dovewing's eyes are? Well, I'll show you. I will show you Dovewing's eye color, because I figured that out. So on my Dovewing, her outer layer is navy blue, her in layer is green, and then her lines are a yellow-green. So do I think Dovewing's eyes are blue or green? Yes. That is my answer to that. Yes. Frankly, most cats' eyes are hazel anyway, so I just went and put blue, green, and yellow in there. I don't know, I personally feel like her eyes are hazel, but because they just keep going between blue and green. I mean, it would have made more sense for Dovewing to have had green eyes just because her mother Whitewing had green eyes, so I feel like it would have matched her mother more, but Yeah, like I said, they're more hazel than anything else.
Like a man
Yeah,
without
I know.
a name.
Yeah, I mean, they even got America's Funniest Home Videos on YouTube now. They got all kinds of stuff. Yeah, Rainflower's custom, I did the same thing with her eyes, because with Rainflower, for many, many years, Rainflower had blue eyes. And they looked fine, but then they changed them to green, and then they went to amber, and now they're supposed to be just completely amber. So I was like, well, I'm just going to do the same thing I did with Dovewing's eyes with her eyes, because let's just call them hazel and call it a day. But as you can see, Dovewing has a more plain coat color, whereas with Rainflower, I'm working on giving her a little bit of a tabby look, just because, again, both her kids, well, one of her kids, Crooked Star, was a tabby, and neither her nor Shellheart are tabbies, so I thought, okay, I'm just going to make her a little bit of a tabby, just kind of add that in there. I have seen Warrior Cat's finds. Oh, you just took medicine. I hope you get better. Oh, that's pretty. Yeah, cats can have brown eyes too. They can have all kinds of eyes. Yeah, I have seen the vines. Yes, I have. Bye. Yeah, if you can come back, by all means. If not, that's totally fine. Have a good night. Thanks for coming. If you don't come back. I'm working on currently Sandstorm. Now, with Sandstorm, she had a very interesting coat. So it's normal to run a little bit of a fever at night, just because you've been walking around all day and kind of, getting your fever up. So by the time you go to sleep at night and get some rest, it might be more normal by morning. If not, I would go to the doctor. The stream is ending at 6:30 just because I have a company coming over then, so we'll have to do it by then. But when it comes to Sandstorm's pelt color, it was very interesting to work with. The camera makes it look like it's super light, which it is, because it's supposed to be a pale orange compared to Firestar's. Firestar's was just... Oh, it's 6:35 for you. Oh, I don't know. I know here in America, here where I'm at, we're ending it at 6:30, and let me see for a second. Oh, you're right. It's 6:36. Oh. Well, I guess I'll just keep going until 6:45, and then we can end it there. Can you see Violet shine? Absolutely. Let's see. There she is. Still working on her, but I think she's coming out swell. And she actually has magnets in her mouth, and I just had her... Okay, here we go. This is baby Violet Shine. And she can carry her in her mouth, because she has magnets. Let's see if I put a magnet. Yeah, I did. So I also put a magnet in her head and then her little butt, so that you can be like the Lion King. Oh, thank you. She can hold her on her head. Yeah, I would stay home and get rest. Yeah, let me see if I can find good old Jay Feather. There we go. So I've got a couple of Jay Feathers, and they might need to be redone here soon. This is my old Jay Feather. And then, as you can see, I painted a little feather behind his head. Yes, I did. I read the first part. I like it. Thistleclaw is a... Yep, thank you. Thistleclaw is a very strong and proud warrior, so I could definitely see that happening. I think he and Sunstar would be cute. Really, I like Thistleclaw pairings with just about any other Tom, but I thought it was a good story, yes. I do think it's a good fanfic. Or an AU. Or whatever they call it these days. Yes, I love J-Bay. I actually have a feather I'm going to go ahead and add to his ear to kind of give him that look. Ah! Well, you know, and Mood Kitty has a point. They're not going to be able to kill off J-Feather anytime too, because if they do that, it's like Moon Kitty said, every single dream is going to be J-Feather, J-Feather, J-Feather. Like, it's going to be awesome. Like, and Moon Kitty has a point. It's going to be J-Feather in every dream, and it's going to be awesome. Oh, yeah, that reminds me, before I get off here, when it comes to Mothwing, maybe I didn't read this in the book, but on the Warriors Wiki, it said, on the Warriors Wiki, it said something like, she is pretty, but I don't have one, unfortunately. It says Mothwing is small on the Warriors Wiki, but everyone else says Mothwing is, like, everyone else draws Mothwing huge, like, really big. So is Mothwing supposed to be really big or small, or do they say that in the books at all? That was the saddest death. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't think Sunstar would banish Thistleclaw if he loved him. Just really, really floofy. She's a big, buff, beautiful cat. I might redo her then, because that's the case. He is and always will be the patrol guy. Yep, thanks to Moon Kitty. I mean, that's pretty much what Thistleclaw did to Spotted Leaf. I mean, when Spotted Paw, I should say, brought her there, said he was training to be stronger. It turns out he was lying, which, man. And you know, what would be even more interesting is Sunstar actually thought about making Thistleclaw deputy until he found out how violent he was. And then decided that that was never going to be the case because he wanted to shed a lot of blood. Oh, thank you. He wanted to shed a lot of blood, so. Okay, so guys, we gotta cut this off because, like I said, I got company coming over. But thank you guys so very much for joining in. I will see you guys hopefully next week on Tuesday. I'm sorry, bye.